Look, if you see this ugly guy, how farther he can go, you can do it too. That's
Oh
gonna
yeah,
be a nice
that
marketing.
clip is definitely going on.
Yeah.
All right, so what were we talking about?
Like when you open your heart, you see you're not dual anymore.
Okay. So yeah, we want to open up the heart center. And the reason why is because when we open up the heart center, we're no longer feeling, acting, and relating to other people um, in the world, objects in the world, as if we were separate from them. When we're acting from that separation consciousness, we will tend to do things to others, such as, hurt them, lie to them, manipulate them, um, and then we'll also pollute our environment and we'll do inhumane things to plants and animals and even to our pets. We see a lot of times, you know, a lot of people have pets, but they don't treat them as if they would want to be treated. They kind of, treat them as a pet.
Hmm.
These are all pets are emotional, intelligent creatures, and when we what we do with them and how we interact with them shapes their consciousness. So all of these things are important when we're talking about opening up the heart center. And if that's one thing that I can do for my students, or that I would like to do, is to make sure that we leave this teaching with an open heart, which
Hmm.
it very much seems that you do.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, thanks for sharing that. That was interesting. And it was funny because I was just talking about something similar yesterday with another student. But yeah, anything else that came up?
Yeah. Just what you're mentioning that about the heart being open and speaking your truth and all of those. When I had that experience that I mentioned to you, that I felt that I had some sort of string that I was holding my neck, and then I felt it open, and my neck was like as wide as my shoulder looked like. Um, that was like a game changer for me because um, although I was always a guy that based myself as telling the truth and living the truth per se, after that particular day, I start to see there is some stuff that I have to say to people that is the truth that I used to avoid, like it was, and then not telling is also a lie. You know what I mean? When you don't tell what you have to tell, it's also a lie, and then it's a lie to yourself as well. So after that particular day, lots changed to me with this matter of speak from your heart and tell what you're really feeling to people. And and honestly, it's so easy because it's look like you stop to care what the other will think about it. You're just living and communicating and flowing. So that's why when I went to that interview that I just mentioned to you, I was calm and relaxed up to until a good 20 minutes before the interview.
And the great
I knew it already. Hmm?
when we're able to speak our truth, we don't have to project ourselves into the future or into the past and then
Hmm.
create that tension. And that's what happens a lot of the times is we don't speak our truth, and then it creates that tension, whether it's anxiety or depression, and then we're all over the place in our conversations, and people some people can read this. Some people can see, when we're not telling the truth just off of the body language and seeing, where this person's going. And just by remaining present and being honest, it's just it comes out clear, it comes out easy, and yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. So that was exactly what happened. Like, looked like 20 minutes before my interview, I kind of had this realization, like, yeah, if you're telling the truth, you're not gonna get this. If you're telling, if you want so much about this, you're gonna have to be someone that you're not, and that bothers me, right? But then I decided to come with the truth, and then that's what happened. I knew right off the bat, and wasn't going to happen. And when the guy calls me, then I got really sad. And then before, I was going to block that, like, I'm better than this. Let me just block this emotion and then move it on, and then who cares? But that on that particular day, what I did on that Friday afternoon, evening actually, I just sit still and meditate and let the sadness come, and then watch it, and then was like, okay, so that's what you said. You're going to take a job that you're gonna have to push stuff and lie to people and then force them to buy stuff that you don't really trust. Is that what makes you sad? If that's what you make you sad, go for it. And then click. Then there was a click, and then dum, then the sadness go. I acknowledge that, and the reason for the sadness. Yeah, it was interesting.
And just for you, you allowed yourself the space to sit with your thoughts and your feelings and emotions and see to we'll say, to be able to make a choice. Is this what I really want to do? Is this
Hmm.
what's going to bring me fulfillment and happiness? And because you're aware, you were able to make that discernment. Now, somebody with who's not more connected to their true essence, more in touch with their true essence, would act more habitually off of their old conditioned beliefs and habits. And money is a very strong factor in our conditioning. They would have said, I don't care about all that other stuff. I'm going for the money. So they
Hmm.
would take the money thinking that they are going to be more happy. Come to find out later down the road, they absolutely hate where they work at, and then they hate waking up and going to their job every day, and they come home miserable. Is
Yep.
that is that money bringing you happiness now?
If your money would fix stuff, like you wouldn't see any rich people miserable, right? And
Mhm.
then that's right the opposite. That's why you see so many like Hollywood actors and actresses and singers and dancers, like after 10, 15 years of a good run, like with like so much like mental problems and issues and sadness and you name it, right?
Yeah, we put our happiness in the objective world. We think happiness is in the objective world, and it's not. We can never experience happiness in the objective world. The only place it'll ever be found everlasting is in the self-realization and the abiding as the screen of awareness. Until then,
Yeah,
happiness will just be an illusion or a state that seems to come and go. And
yeah,
it's not even, and it's there isn't different types of happiness. When you acquire that substance and you become happy, you're happy. When you get the car, you're happy. It's not a different happiness. It's all the same. So if happiness comes from within us, then we must be happiness. If it's the same, it never changes.
It's
Because
not external. It has to come from inside, right? Yeah.
and our true essence, awareness, is non-objective. It never changes. Thus, it could be said to be love or happiness. It's imminent and transparent.
Yeah. Yeah. And look what I just thought now. There is this philosopher guy. He's famous. It's probably from the 1800s. I don't remember. Not far ago. His name is Nietzsche. And then he says that there is no happiness. Like life is eternal suffering because the way you live life is like, I'll be so happy when I get this water bottle. And then you move mountains and everything to get this water bottle. Then you get a water bottle, you take a sip. Oh, water, that's so good. And then you take a second sip. The second sip is not as good as the first one. Then the third one is not as good as the second one. And then when you see, you say, it's just a water bottle. And then you say, yeah, no, well, you know what's going to make me happy now? It's going to be this white bear. And then you go pursue yourself until you get the white bear. And then when you get the white bear, you hug for the first time. It's amazing. But then the third time is not. So at some point, he was correct because if you pursue your life only on the material way of happiness has to come from the outside, has to come from things, that's exactly what you're gonna get. You're gonna run after something, you're gonna get that something, you're gonna be happy for the first sip, not as much for the second one, not as much for the third. And when you see on the fifth sip, you say, yeah, I'm gonna need some another source of happiness. And that's how life works. Like you have an iPhone every year. You don't need to change your phone every year, but they do send a new model. And then some people have on their minds, like, yeah, I want to be happy if I have the iPhone 25 or iPhone 30 or whatever.
It's a
So
loop.
when you,
It's a loop of suffering.
yes, so then when you go within, not needing anything serious to make you happy, for once, it's easier to control because it's all depends on you going inside you to find your happiness. And second, it's like eternal because you're not happy for stuff, you're happy for yourself, like from who you are. That's what I think.
No, and I would suggest that you're correct.
But
So
easier said than done.
all we have to do is be willing to be courageous and have the humility to take the investigation, or yeah, just take the investigation into who we are. And it's a very simple investigation. It all starts with, what is it that it cannot be removed from us and is absolutely essential? And we've gone through that.
Mhm.
Everything can be removed from you: the body, the mind, all your sense faculties can be removed from you. The only thing that is essential to you and can never be removed is awareness. Awareness precedes, is during, and are after all experience. It never changes. So, whatever is present and ever changeless and true for every single body, it alone must be real. It alone must be true. Because everything else in our objective world has a quality. And if something has a quality or a form, then by definition, it's bound to appear, disappear, or change. Our nature is changeless, is formless, it's non objective. This is why we can't describe God. We can't describe, try to think of consciousness right now. You can't.
Yeah.
We can try to formulate a blank object, but even a blank object doesn't give justice to our true essence. So the difficulty of it is first seeing that screen. And It's not hard. And actually, let's do it right now. Let's go to our essence. Close your eyes.
Okay.
Just go to the experience of being aware. Now, just tell me in your own words. Nothing, nothing crazy, nothing scripted, just in your own basic words, what what does awareness feel like? What does it feel like to be awareness?
It's like ease, I would say.
You said ease?
Ease.
Perfect. A sense of ease. What else?
It is it is peaceful and I would say natural. Like you're
Okay.
comfortable being there.
I feel very peaceful. I feel very comfortable. I feel very aware. I am present. No agitation. That is you. This is you, awareness. Quiet, peaceful, empty awareness. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Everything else is an activity of consciousness. You, awareness, just witness. Okay, you can open up your eyes. So, to be honest, you know who you are.
Yeah. I just cannot be there all the time. So
Understandable. Understandable.
that's why I try to get there more and more and more. But
Listen,
when
it takes 3 years for a pure soul to finally make the transition. It can take longer than a non to fully make the transition. But as we spoke before, how much devotion and how much time you return to yourself, that doesn't mean you have to sit down and meditate. But I remember the other day when you sent me a message and you were just snow plowing or whatever you were doing, and you're just
Mhm.
being present. That right there is a perfect way of just using your time wisely to rest in your own being. And yeah, just do that, and everything that needs to happen will happen. The unfolding, the good, the bad, just your only job is to stay aware. And
Mhm.
I'm gonna bring up. I thought I would bring up a picture for you today to kind of give you a visual representation of Shiva, Shakti, and let me share my screen here. All right, can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right. So here is a common analogy of our shared being. Now, this would be you or us, awareness, Shiva. That's the Shiva and Shakti is kind of like a movement and a rest. Um, in Christianity, it was uh, yeah, a movement and a repose. They said something about God. Uh, who they asked him who he was, and as they said, if they asked, tell them I'm a movement. I mean, I'm a rest and a repose. So Shiva and Shakti is the Shiva is the non-changing energy, if I'm not mistaken, the ever-present aspect of consciousness, and Shiva or Shakti is the moving as the inertia, the energy aspect of our essence, the two to the one.
Mhm.
So our true essence is like the TV screen. Now, in the beginning, we are exclusively lost in the content of the movie. We think we're this guy. So now you have caught a glimpse of the screen. You know and are aware that the screen is there, that you are the screen. You don't feel 100% like the screen yet, but you know it's there. So the next step is to realize, and this image wouldn't be the best. Let me see if I have, I think I have another image that would better suit the second stage. But you are Shiva and Shakti. I just want to make that make that clear.
Mhm.
You are the movie. In the beginning, we say yes, we're not our experience, but that's called that's still in duality. You still have subject and object.
I think the Hindus they said that Shiva is on the top of the head, and then Shakti is in a base of the spine, and when you have your Kundalini experience, your opening, then you kind of force through the energy to meet together at the top of the crown, right?
Yes, you move it. It moves the meeting place of the locust. So you go from, say, you were sitting at the heart to now sitting at the third eye, and a fully realized being, their crown chakra, their
Hmm.
meeting place of their locust would be meeting at their crown chakra.
I think I lost you.
Bleep, blurp, bleep, blurp.
Hello, are you there,
Yes, I'm here. I'm everywhere.
Jay?
Yes. Hello? I don't think I'm seeing you either.